Now the next hand, the third G hand that I'm going to discuss in a little bit more detail is the iron sword hand. In the Bubishi, again, the hand position sort of looks like the iron bone thumb, but the hand is bent at the wrist just slightly. And the way the fingers are drawn in the book, you can see that the hand is actually flexed back. So almost like the feathers of a wing on a bird, you can see that they actually flay back. The weapon is not this that most people in modern arts have taken it to be, the shuto. All right, the shuto is a very weak area of the hand. You have a small bone in the hand, a metacarpal right here. If you strike something, especially if you miss soft target and go into a hard tissue like the jawbone or the skull, you're going to break that hand. Okay. As a matter of fact, when you punch forward on this, most people break their hands, like in real situations where they use their fists. They break it on this small bone because that small bone is actually curved outward as well. So when they strike this way, it causes a fracture in the bone. I don't want to hurt my hand if I'm defending myself. So what I'm going to do is use a harder surface. This bony process right here at the end of the wrist, okay, that's the iron sword hand. And it's also depicted in the Bubishi because of the way the fingers are flayed up and the action of the fingers. It's not like the iron bone thumb where you see the fingers are together. You see them actually spread apart, which means the hand has flexed back and the muscles are pulling those fingers apart. Okay, that also shows you something very clearly, and that's the angle of the kinetic energy and that energetic transfer that we're going to send into the body. Now, this being a hard surface, I rather hit soft tissue. The target I'm going to demonstrate this with today is the Gallbladder 20. Now, the Gallbladder 20, and here's something about those anatomical charts or the acupuncture charts that are a little different from what we use in the Kyusho. You have the whole span of the inside of the neck here. You have the muscles of the spinal column. You also have the sternocleidomastoids on the side. What I need to do is I need to get between to get into the nerve structure. Now the acupuncture charts show the Gallbladder 20 against the base of the skull, and I've depicted this in earlier films as well. It's an okay target. I mean, there is a nerve that comes out there, but it's a very tough thing to hit in and cause any reaction. The Gallbladder 20 is actually about a finger width down underneath that skull tissue. So you're not going to be hitting into skull, you're going to be hitting down into the soft tissue. All right. Now let me get on this side for 1 second as well. Now you can stay right there. Okay. A lot of people also have seen that this attack is upward. And it works to a certain degree. But what happens is that nerve is coming up. It's the lesser occipital nerve, and it actually comes up out of the body and into the skull tissue. It rides up on the inside. What I need to do is, again, send the message the way the nerve has exited the body. I don't want it to go up where it's not going to cause any internal effect. I want it to cause internal effect. So what I need to do is drop down on this to send the energy along that neural pathway. Okay, by striking down, you can see you can cause incapacitation quite easily. You take a seat. Take a seat. You back and focused?
Back now, yes.
Okay. Now, I've shown this on films, and as a matter of fact, my last filming, the top 10 points that I've done, this is one of my primary targets for self-defense. We've also noticed that during our higher level practices, this seems to be the easiest point for people to get in serious action. Okay, it's an excellent target, one you should probably put a lot of your study into. But again, you need to make sure that you're not just following acupuncture charts because sometimes the location's off. You don't just think that you can strike the point and cause an effect because one angle going upward would cause a little bit of effect, but the downward has obviously much more of an effect on the person. So you really have to understand these targets. You also have to understand the weapons. Now, if I had used the iron sword that most people think today and used what's called the classical shuto now, and I had struck here, he would have still had an effect because it's still going to be concussion on the nerve. But it would not have been as a sharp a reaction and as an instant an action. He would have probably just leaned forward holding his head with a painful feeling, and it would incapacitate him from the pain, but not that instant dysfunction of the body. And that's what we're looking for. Can't get that with a muted attack on the structure. You got two muscles, you have to get between them, and if I'm using soft tissue, it will get between a little bit, but it's not going to have that sharp penetration that I need. I need to strike in with the iron bone portion of the sword.